welcome to Reginaldesq. I'm Underhook, and this is my review of the Italian Tier 5 medium tank, the P.43. So is it any good? It's not a bad tank, it's pretty good. Now, you may hear a lot of background noise while I'm doing this review. It's because I've got the windows wide open because my air conditioner is an evaporative air conditioner, and here in Australia it's pretty hot right now, early January. And today, right now, it's about 44 degrees Celsius outside, which for my American cousins is 111 Fahrenheit. There you go. So it's pretty warm. So you may hear some outside traffic noises because I need to have the windows open, and the blinds might slam into the window frames a few times because it's a bit windy as well. So apologies for that, but it's too hot to not have an air conditioner on. So there. So yes, this tank is not a bad tank. It has a pretty good gun, with the one exception of it's not very accurate. And that's the biggest issue I have with this tank, is its accuracy. The gun almost never hits the center of where you're aiming at. It almost always misses by a bit. You'll hit the tank, but you just won't hit the tank where you wanted to hit it, which is a bit of an issue with this tank. But everything else about the tank is pretty good. It has probably the best, or one of the best frontal armour of any of the Tier 5 mediums, but it doesn't seem to help it that much. Has good gun depression and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, it's a pretty good tank. Now, I have a camouflage net and binoculars fitted because I want to increase my spotting range of camouflage, and I have vents fitted to boost everything a little bit. And now my crew is fully trained, but they're all still working on their first skill. The commander is working on Sixth Sense, which isn't active yet, so that won't be doing anything. And then I've got radar operator, I think, is working on concealment. And then what else have I got here? I've got the driver is working on smooth ride, 93%. And the gunner is working on snapshot, he's at 87%. So that gives you a bit of an idea where we're at with this tank. I could have reviewed this tank a little bit earlier, but I thought, I'm close to a mark of excellence, so I played a few more games just to make sure I get the mark of excellence because it looks a bit better during the review. And then when I got it, and look at this tiny little thing here, you can't even see it. Anyway, they need to work on some of the marks of excellence. They just, what's the point of having it if no one can see it? Anyway, let's have a look at the comparison, have a look at some armour, and then we'll get into some gameplay. I had quite a few mastery games in this tank, so I had quite a few games to choose from. So, dear viewers, here we are on TanksGG website. We have the tank we're reviewing on the left, the P.43, and a selection of non-premium mediums there. So, the Chinook is my most successful Tier 5 medium tank ever. It's the only tank I've ever 3-marked, so I know that tank pretty well, so I can compare it to that well. And I've driven most of the other tanks. Now, the last two here, the Panzer IV-H and the M4, are both basically HE using guns that have potentially a lot of damage. So they're a little bit different, but we can still compare them, how the tanks move and everything. So 1600 DPM is not too bad on this tank. Penetration of 118 is kind of average, and the damage of 110 is kind of average-ish as well, similar to the T24 Skoda. The Type T34 and the T34, very similar tanks of course, have the ZIS-4 gun, which has a much lower damage per shot, but has a very, very high rate of fire. So they're a little bit different, those tanks. So the gun is not bad, okay penetration, okay damage. The reload time is pretty good as well. It reloads faster than the Chinook, although the Chinook does a little bit more damage. And so, it's pretty good reload speed. Caliber, it's a 75 caliber gun like most of them are. The shell velocity, unfortunately, is very slow at 775 and is the slowest of this bunch, other than, of course, the HE firing guns. That is a problem hitting moving tanks at range. That, combined with the poor accuracy of the gun, makes this tank not good at hitting targets at range at all, and not good at hitting moving targets at range. So the ammo capacity of 63, well, that's plenty. Aim time of 2.4 is a little slow. So the others are all pretty much 2.3, except of course for the HE firing guns and this STRV, which has 150 average damage per shot. Quite a good tank, that one. Dispersion 0.41 is the worst of the bunch, other than of course the HE guns. But compared to the other guns we see here, the accuracy isn't good. And like I said, at range, lets it down pretty badly. But it's still okay. What else can we tell you about it? It has an elevation of 20, which is quite good, and gun depression of 10. So this tank can fight on hills, and the turret armour isn't bad, so it does do pretty well if you're just exposing the turret. Also, the turret is sort of smaller than the tank itself, so you're not exposing too much when you stick your turret over the top, and it's not bad at that sort of thing. A lot of the others are pretty good at that, by the way, at this tier as well, other than the T-34s. Speed, well, 42 kilometers an hour and forward is not too bad, but it's not a fast medium. It's not fast, but it's not slow. It is pretty manoeuvrable though. It has a reasonably reverse speed of 18. Its weight is 30 tonne, which is the heaviest, not the heaviest of this bunch, sorry, the M4 is the heaviest, but not by much. So you can ram in its tank fairly well. Terrain resistances are good, and it has a pretty good turret traverse of 40. It's about average, but its track traverse is really good at 48 and is clearly far and away actually the best of this bunch. So it is kind of manoeuvrable, and it's hard for other tanks to circle. You can turn and keep your well armoured front towards them, which is pretty important with some of these pesky auto loading fast light tanks. The arm, as you can see here, is 80 at the front and is better than most of them. In fact, some of the others do have 80, like the Panzer IV has 80 on the hull, but its turret is weaker. So you know, the only thing is the design of the armour isn't as good as, say, the M4 is. So whilst the armour's thicker, it's not necessarily that much better. It has 460 hit points, which is kind of average, and the radio range of 350, sorry, the view range of 350 is pretty much the same as everyone else, except the M4, which is 370, I think because it's so high. Okay, let's have a look at the armour layout. So I do like consistent thicknesses on the front of a tank, and this one is quite consistent. You can see here the upper and lower plates here are 80 millimeters. This section here is thinner at 50 millimeters, but that's still pretty thick considering the very heavy sloping on it, and most of the time it's going to be a ricochet anyway. This upper driver plate here is 80 millimeters as well. It's also sloped, although not super heavily, but still sloped. And the front of the turret is actually 100 millimeters, which is really, really good. And that's pretty consistent over the front of this sort of, I guess you'd call it a mantlet type area. But, well, it's actually this, well, actually, let me break that down a little bit more. You can't see it because it's quite faint here. And let me try the, do we have a hybrid model? Let's try the hybrid, we can see a little bit better. So you can see here this mantlet area here, that's 100. The area outside of that, this area here, is actually 80. So, and it is quite flat, so they can penetrate you there, but if you hit the mantlet, their chances are vastly reduced. The sides here are 50 millimeters and very heavily sloped, so no one's going through that from the front. The top, though, is only 25 millimeters, so 76 millimeter and above will be an automatic pen on the roof, and the cupola is pretty large and it's only 50 millimeters. So when hill fighting, that does stand out a bit, and people can try and pick that off. Although when you're utilising your gun depression, if I can actually get this facing the right way here, it's a little bit harder to hit, as you can see there. So the sides of the tank are 50 millimeters, so we can angle a bit. Well, we can angle a bit more. There you go. It's about consistent about there, about 25-30 degree angle. But it's only 110. Most of even the other medium tanks can pen you at that angle. So it's not super, but it's okay. It does have a bit of spaced armour on the side here, which is kind of useful against artillery. The rear of the tank, 50 millimeters. Top deck here is 25. Top of the turret is also only 25. So, yeah, it's not badly armoured, although it doesn't seem to hold up as well as you would think. I don't know why, but it just doesn't seem to hold up that well. You do get some bounces, but it's not as good as the stats would indicate, in my opinion. So the map is Mountain Pass. We're in a tier 5. Since they changed the matchmaker here in Australia, in my tier 5 tank, I'm almost always top tier, which probably means that the tier 4s are almost always bottom tier. Anyway, off we zoom. There are 4 bots on each team, and you can see those little tanky symbols there next to the tanks that are bots. There's a maximum of 7 bots per team for tier 5 and below tanks. In this case, there's 4 on each team. I'm heading to this little spot here, which I've started doing of late if I'm in mediums or lights, because you can get a few spots on the enemy. I have got binoculars, so I can wait for them to kick in and maybe spot. and you get a few sneaky shots if you're lucky. My binoculars have kicked in, but I haven't spotted anything yet, so my view range might not be good enough. But I've got a tank, M5 Stuart, there is moving up, so maybe he will spot, and he has. He spotted an A20 there hiding in the bushes. As you can see, the aim time isn't super quick, but we hit it. I moved back a little bit in case there's other tanks that are aiming at me, and it was a good idea because it looks like there are other tanks there. I'm aiming in on where I saw that there was a marker there before, so I'm just going to keep shooting that area. Could be a tank there. Other people have got the same idea. And oh, what did we just kill? A Valentine 2. Okay, well they're always good to get. Not a lot to aim at there. We timed it badly. DW2, it's probably a bot. It is a bot, this one. We get one in that time. 50 mils of armour all around. Not really enough armour to stop us from shooting it through the side. Oh, here comes another one. AMX 40. Is that a bot? It is a bot as well. You can kind of tell which tanks get chosen to be bots. And judging by the fact it's driving around in the open. So, being a tier 5, we have enough penetration to get through the AMX 40's unangled armour. If it was on an angle, we'd have trouble. And in a tier 4 tank, I'd have a lot of trouble getting through them. Was that a teammate that just shot me in the back? Or was that enemy artillery? It was enemy artillery. Okay, enemy artillery hit me. So we back up a little bit. During the gameplay, I did think it was enemy artillery. Just for some reason then I thought it looked like it hit me from behind, but it was probably just the shell landing behind me that caused that. Alright, so we were lucky. They were done 631 damage just by being in that one spot. That was pretty lucky. So I decided now to move forward since the our M5 Stuart has decided to go elsewhere. I'm thinking there's still more honey in this honey pot. Let's see what I can do by moving up here. Also, I can see that my tanks, my teammates on my left there are doing pretty well. I can see this Lux here in retreat. So I figure some tanks might start retreating through this gap here, and I might get some more shots. So popping over, don't see anything, and here we go, DW2. Now we know he's a bot. Don't know if I knew it at the time. That was a terrible shot from me. I shot straight into his beautifully angled arm. I think we missed anyway, but now he's flat on. That goes straight in. I bounce a shot from a Hetzer, and I bounce a shot from a Lux. And now I remember why I'm showing you this replay. I'm showing you this replay to show that the armour can bounce, especially lower tiers, especially when you're using your gun depression. If you're just driving along the flat, the armour doesn't seem to do so well. But when you're using your gun depression, I guess the upper hull is more sloped, and the armour tends to be a bit more bouncy. Let's go. We spot a Skoda 224. There's that pesky artillery that tracked me before. That was a pretty lucky shot. I don't think I was even fully aimed. Don't think we're going to get to finish him though. I would really like to get to finish him, but I think he's behind the rock now. And there's that Skoda, and he's not looking at us. And he doesn't have much armour, so that goes in. All of the tier 5 tanks are human players, so that was a human. In fact, they've only got one bot left now, and it's a B1. So I just take a shot there because I think he's got concealment now from the bushes. He can probably see me, so I've got to be a little bit careful. I decided to come on a different angle now. Looks like I've got some backup and a Churchill 3 coming up here. I decide now that I've got that little bit of that big rock there. It's going to shield me from another tank, so I'm going to go get this guy. I actually just bounced a shot from an SU-85 there, and we're getting smashed by the Lux from the side there. He got some good hits into us. He did 264 damage to us actually, but we bounced every other shot. The SU-85B, we bounced all of his shots. Quite lucky, really. We had some pretty lucky bounces because he had elevation or didn't he, that SU? I don't know. Anyway, I think we need to get rid of this Lux, but this guy is in the open basically, so let's finish him off. He actually penetrated us there. I think he might have gone through our... Yeah, he did, the front corner there. Okay, Lux is on the move. This could be good for us to get a shot into him. He's obviously not going to be shooting at us. Aim it in a little bit, and we get him. 112 damage, very nice. 2 points more than our average damage, which was good, so we got the kill. Would have hated to have had him driving around with a few hit points. Pretty damn dangerous tank, that Lux. I'm just clicking on the map there to let the Marder and the DW2 know that, hey guys, come on, get in there. And the more tanks we have here, the more we can spread the damage, because I don't have any hit points left, so I can't take any more hits. I want to try and make sure that they've got more than one target to shoot at. The enemy, that is. Here we have that Su-85. I thought he was elevated, but he wasn't. He was just there, so we get a shot into him. It looks like the Marder on our left there got the killing shot. We're on 5 kills though, actually. That's a bit of action-packed game. I'm going to be careful coming in here in case there's someone hiding in the bushes there on the left. I see the Marder going through, so I'll let him go first. See if he gets spotted and shot. But he's managed to spot this tank. I was actually thinking they might be hiding in the bushes to the left there, but I was really surprised that he was just sitting right out in the open there and I hadn't spotted him earlier, so I don't know what happened there. I don't think I actually did any damage to him then. I think I bounced my shot on him. Anyway, so we're moving in now to, well, it's endgame, isn't it? They've only got 3 tanks left. The B1 is a bot. You see their arties up top there. I think he just hit our Marder. The O1 experimental was gone. I haven't got the gun elevation, guys, so I'm trying to drive away from him to get the elevation, but I don't have it. And he's been finished by our arty. Anyway, that only leaves the B1, which is a bot. Not expecting anything too exciting here as far as gameplays, but I would like to get a top gun. And we do. Yay! We're the winners. Okay, so that was the Mastery game. Like I said, I had a bunch of Mastery games. I had a bunch of good games to choose from, but I chose this one mainly because it showed off the armour, that it works well when you're using your gun depression. If you're not using gun depression, it doesn't work so well, and I guess that's like the M4's probably similar, so I guess you could say it's probably fair. We hit a lot of stuff, as you can see. We got a steel wall, and we got a Naiden's medal for destroying... Hang on, isn't that for destroying tanks that are higher level than you? Okay, I don't know why we got that, because I think we were top tier. Anyway, we did about 1556 damage. We got 1176, which is enough for a mastery in the tank. And we fired 27 rounds, so fairly good rate of fire. 16 of those hit, so accuracy not great, but 15 of the 16 penetrated. So when you're top tier, penetration's quite good. Damage 1556, 642 was over 300 meters, so a little bit of long range shooting there. We received 18 hits, 10 of them penetrated. Obviously 10 penetrations means some of them were from the Lux, a bunch of them were from the Lux, which is obviously got a small, very fast multi-cannon. But still pretty good rate of bouncing, so that was a pretty good game for the armour. We blocked 920 damage in the armour, which considering we only have 460 hit points is pretty impressive. We spotted 5 vehicles, we damaged 10, destroying 6 of them, and also got 637 in assistance damage, so a pretty good game for us there. Profit-wise, well, without this holiday bonus, that's 13 grand less, would have made, what, 33, which is not bad, I guess. The map is Cliff, and once again, top tier. Most of the games I got in this tank were top tier, so that's what I'm showing you. 7 bots per side in this game, so a maximum number of bots. And we are going to head towards the middle of the map. I like going in the middle of the map when I have something with good gun depression. This, as you can see, the tank's not super quick, but it's not slow, so it's not too bad. About right for a medium, I guess. So in this case, we've got a couple of tier 5 tanks on both teams that are actually bots. So the Crusader and the Leopard on our team are bots, and on the enemy team, the Matilda 4 and the Leopard are bots. So it's kind of balanced-ish, I guess. At higher tiers, I normally sometimes hold back and just to shoot people who are going up on this hill here. But I find with some of the lower tiers, the tanks are so small you can't hit them. So moving into position, just keep my eye on the left there in case somebody's come up and is trying to get shots into me from the left. So this is a bit of a risk coming right out here like this. And as you can see, I missed. And we just bounced an SU-5. Now, if I'm right, the SU-5 is in fact an artillery, and it's an artillery that I have actually reviewed recently, and it just bounced. Ah, but the grill doesn't. The grill just did 159 damage to us. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, it's game over. And we get hit by the SU-5. SU-5 only does 7 damage with its HE shell. So, yeah, what a terrible piece of artillery that SU-5 is. It must have the stock gun, or it's not the top gun anyway. It's not the big 150mm or whatever it is. The lower gun on his 5 is useless, and you can see it direct hit to us did 0 damage, and then it hit us again and did 7 damage. So, yeah, you really want the big gun, but I think the SU-5 only has 12 rounds in the big gun, so it's terrible artillery. Anyway, so we managed to finish off that Valentine there. He was a bot. This B1 will be a bot as well, no doubt. B1s are almost always bots. The grill hits us again. He really wants us bad, that grill. So, only trouble with people knowing where you are. M5 Stuart bounces off us. The only trouble with everyone knowing where you are is that Artie focuses on you. That was a bad shot. I shouldn't really take that shot. Shots on angled DW2s aren't good. And artillery is still going for it. Yet you can see I'm almost permanently stunned. This is pretty good though. I've just got a little gap I can shoot through here. Missed him. Stoke 4 is coming to kill us. So let's try and track him. No, I'm pulling. He's going to come right round. I was going to go for the wheel there. I didn't have time. I couldn't aim. He got one into us, but I'm using my gun depression now. So he doesn't have a chance to get a shot on us. Here comes an M5 Stuart. So these are players now, so a bit more of a challenge. Got shot at and bounced that Panzer 38 up there. I don't know how I bounced him. So I was saying in the open the armour isn't very good. Well, apparently it is. The armour's holding up really well in this game, isn't it? So he doesn't have much to shoot at me through there. That's good for me, bad for him. Wait for the reload and go for a finishing shot. We don't manage to finish him with that one. He's coming around on us. Reload. He missed us, unfortunately for him. We only have 143 hit points left. I don't think he would have killed me, but anyway. So, M4 only does 3 damage to us. I think his HE shell actually landed next to us. As you can see, my gun is wobbling around all over the place. I'm trying to aim, and even though I've got 27 milliseconds of ping, there is a fair bit of lag on the server, and my gun just wouldn't be stable. So, very hard to aim, especially when the target keeps moving back and forth like that. Also, the aim time on this tank isn't sensational. It's alright, but it's not sensational. So it's a little bit difficult as well. Anyway, I'm hoping this Lux is going to come out. So I'm hiding in these bushes, waiting for him to stick his head out from the bushes. Actually, is that a Lux or is that a Leo? Oh, it's a Largo. Sorry, a Largo. I mean, yeah, it's a Largo. So that's the Swedish one, isn't it? I really liked the Largo. I thought it was a really good tank. Is it a tier 4? Yeah, it's a tier 4 Swedish medium. I really like that tank. Can I get a shot on that Panzer? No, I can come out of the bushes. I could probably get a shot on him. It's a bit of a risk. No, don't have sight on him. Hopefully he didn't spot me just then. And what's that? It's an M8A1. Now that is a bot. There are 2 M8A1 bots on the enemy team. Our DW2 probably spotted it. Our DW2 is a bot as well. Can I get the search on him? Oh, he just sneaks away. 4 kills. Probably we're not going to get a top gun. I think that guy slipping away probably stopped that for us. Anyway, bit of action in the game. Is that Largo coming out? Come on, you can do it. That's the way. Come out. It's safe. It's safe. Come out. And we bounced the SU-5 again. The SU-5 does 0 damage again. I hate that SU-5. I mean, not this guy. I just hate that tank. It is useless. Unless you use the big gun on it, but the big gun, like I said, only has 12 ammo, so you can't even finish a game in it. Anyway, enough about that horrible SU-5, which if you want to watch the review, I have reviewed. I have reviewed the Largo as well. Just waiting now to see if anybody's going to stick their head out into the open. Still 3 bots on each team. How's that? So there's not that many tanks left, but the bots have survived. Ah, I thought I was going to get a shot on him. Okay, well done to the grill. So he just pre-aimed and was just sitting there waiting for me to be spotted. And then as soon as I saw that Lux appear there and I took aim at it, he just went, I obviously got spotted, and he just went bang and pressed fire. So, clever man. That was a good move on his part, unfortunately for us. Okay, so Mastery and High Caliber, and I just checked my records there, and that game, my crew was actually 96% trained, so the tank wasn't performing quite to its best there, but anyway, did plenty of damage. I can't read that, but I'll be able to read it on the next screen. We finished top on our team, 731 experience, 5 kills. What did we do? We fired 33 shots, 23 of them hit, and 19 of those penetrated, 1885 damage. 201 was at long range, so it was nearly all close range shooting. Hits received 14, penetrations 1. That doesn't, of course, count the splashing from the artillery. Damage block armor 450, enemy spotted 3. We damaged 9, destroying 5, and 161 assistance damage. Now, these games, it appears to be making a liar of me when I said about the armor, but these games I was lucky as far as the armour went. Generally speaking, the armour doesn't hold up as well as it did in these games, but it is useful armour, a bit like the M4, I guess, in that respect. Profit-wise, we had Crage Resistance. Okay, so we take 10 grand off the roundabout. For holiday bonus, we would have made 33, so yeah, it's not too bad profit-wise. Thanks for watching my review of the P.43. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more reviews, please subscribe to Reginaldesq and have fun.